Hi everybody, I'm Miss Jess and today I'm going to teach you how to draw a Super Mario Cheep Cheep in a pile of donuts. Let's jump into it.
Here we go. First, we're going to draw the Cheep Cheep and then we'll draw the pile of donuts because we want the Cheep Cheep to be on top. So we'll draw that first. So here's how we draw a Cheep Cheep. First, you're going to draw the mouth, and the mouth is a little circle with a circle inside of it. So you could say it's a donut. This mouth is actually the entire inspiration behind the Cheep Cheep in a pile of donuts. All right, so over this mouth, we're going to see two eyes, and the Cheep Cheep's eyes are ovals, but they're fused together, so they're not separate. So the way we're going to draw them is first by making a big shape that looks like a capital C. Then we're going to draw another one, but backwards, that is touching at the top. So at the top, it looks a bit like the top of a heart, but then it continues down straight and it has an oval shape instead of coming down to a point like a heart. Now you can see the two segments for the eyes. So you're going to put two ovals inside, one in each side for the pupil. And then I'm going to make a circle inside the top of each pupil for the highlight spot before I color it in. Now you don't have to make highlight spots, they're always optional, but I do think it adds life to the eye, and seeing where the light is hitting and glistening in the eye always adds a little extra cuteness as well. So we've got eyes and a mouth. Next, we're going to make a little bit of space at the side of the eye, and then we are going to make a little curve. This is going to be for the inside of the wing, kind of where the shoulder part of the wing would be. Then we're going to extend the top and hook it at the end. This is the top feather of the Cheep Cheep's wing. Then we're going to bring little feathers on down the side. You can see that they sort of create a shape that goes down and in. And then after 4 or maybe 5, you might have a different number than me. After it's come down to where it can connect back up to the shoulder, then bring it all together and you've got a wing shape. All right, next we're going to make the body shape of the Cheep Cheep. So it's got a round body, so that means we're going to make a circle, but we can't just make a circle because we would be drawing right through our features that we already have down here. So we're going to split the circle into 2 parts. We're going to make a rainbow line for the top of the circle, which will go from the eye up and over into the wing, and then we'll make a smiley face line for the bottom, going from the mouth over to the wing. Over here at the back of the body, we're going to see a tail. The tail has 3 little bumps on the end, kind of like the number 3 with an extra bump, and then it's connected to the body. The belly of the Cheep Cheep has a curve and a white belly, so we can draw that little curve in there. If you want to make your Cheep Cheep a different sort of color or pattern, you don't have to add the belly, that's your choice. And then finally, my favorite part of the Cheep Cheep is the hair. Oh wait, it's not hair, it's a top fin, but I always think of it as hair because I think it looks like a mohawk. It's so cute. So for the top fin, we're going to start by making a little slightly bent line that's going up and forward over to the front of the Cheep Cheep. Then we're going to draw a short line moving toward the back, toward the wing. We're going to pause there, make a V, and then we're going to do the same thing again, making a short line going to the back, pause, make a V. We're making these little splits in the fin. And then finally, we're going to draw continuing all the way down until we disappear into the Cheep Cheep body or the wing. And as you can see, this line tapers or gets closer, smaller as it continues down. So there's the Cheep Cheep. Awesome, we've got a Cheep Cheep. Now, if you just wanted to draw a Cheep Cheep today, you could stop there. but we're drawing donuts, so let's go. You can draw as many donuts as you want to. Donuts are circles, right? So I'm just going to start by making some circles around my Cheep Cheep with a circle in the middle for the middle of the donut. Now I'm going to start by making a few spaced out, and then I can add another layer below those. I'm not sure yet how many I'm going to make. I like to just kind of go with the flow and see what happens. I think that's good for my first layer. I'll make another layer, hiding behind those. And another one over here that I think, there we go, that'll be good. And I'll make one more. Yay, donuts! All right, now for the decorations on the donut, as you can see in this one, I have some that are plain. I have some that have kind of a wavy pattern for the icing on the top. I have some that have sprinkles. I have this one that has kind of a chocolate drizzle on it. You can make any kind of donuts you want to. What flavor donuts could you make? Maybe vanilla cake, chocolate, blueberry, strawberry, angel food cake. What other kinds of donuts could you think of that you could draw?
Thank you so much for drawing this Cheep Cheep in donuts picture with me today. I had so much fun teaching you, and I hope that you had fun following along. I can't wait to see what you came up with, so be sure to tag me with your picture on social media, because then I can see it, and I love that so much. Now make sure that you subscribe so you can keep drawing with me in the future, and until next time, thanks for drawing with me.